It's a pickle.
Traveling with Lady Juna sure was fun. Bleh. Your Majesty? What business do you have with the former helmsman like me? What about Juna now? I had the honor of attending to her during an expedition. Actually, I think she's on her way to the palace in order to meet with you. You didn't hear from Chief Magnus? Lady Juna was off inspecting the Mage Academy, and I was the flight's helmsman. It knocked me on my arse when Lady Juna left Louise's company, you know. I left right after she did. Anyway, still undecided about you being king and all that, but I do appreciate you taking me in, so I'm gonna work to repay that favor.
Control, yeah?
On that note, about time I got back to work. Oh, and don't tell the chief I was shooting the breeze here, eh, Your Majesty? Okay. That's so funny. Even Louise's people got their
Wonderful.
happy-ish endings, I guess.
It's a pickle.
So we have Barden, Maria, obviously. We have Katharina, and is there anyone? Oh, and Stroll. Luke Stroll.
Right.
Well, if it isn't Your Majesty, it's been a year since you've ascended the throne, and a quick one at that. It feels like the strife that Louise... It feels like the strife with Louise was but a bad dream. Okay. For some reason, my mind could not, comprehend that sentence. I don't know what's wrong with me. Had you asked me then, I would have been wringing my hands about one so young leading the kingdom. But now, I'm embarrassed to have thought it. You had a keen eye to recognize the danger Louise posed, and are braver still to have fought him. You had a kingly caliber I never truly possessed. Still, a single year is but a drop in the proverbial bucket. Stay vigilant, King.
Oh, my, oh my.
Okay. Oh, Barden. Okay.
That's something.
What an unexpected coincidence, Your Majesty. No guards with you today? Don't worry. I'm no tattletale. I myself just left a meeting going over how the provincial governments are doing. We convened for the new year. How are things in Martira? Oh, it's as lively as it used to be, and we owe it all to you, Your Majesty. That dodgy mess you cleaned up for us feels like ancient history now. And I'm pleased to report, as head of the provincial lords, it's nothing but good news reaching my ears. Better relations between towns has employment up and overall welfare too. Each town has specialties and wisdom to offer, and when we combine our heads, there's no problem we can't solve. I just feel so blessed to be a part of it. I know I made some blunders when I first stepped into the governor's role, but I'm happy to share my failings so others don't repeat my mistakes. Things are all right now?
But of course.
Indeed, they are. The townspeople play an active role in policy and administration, and I'm not bearing that weight alone. Of course, some lords are like I was once and would rather manage things at their sole discretion than leave things to the people. And yeah, taking every matter to public opinion can be laborious, well, with all the proceedings and disputes.
Then again.
Still, changing our own lives with our own hands makes the process worth the trouble.
Brilliant.
And choosing a king of our own will was all the inspiration we needed for change. You also worked for Louise. Well, if it isn't His Majesty, the captain of the Royal Guard was looking for you. As a former guard captain of the Quadrius, perhaps I should report your whereabouts? Fair enough. Just giving you a hard time. It can be hard to shake old habits despite the fact that I'm Captain Salva of the State Army now. I parted ways with Louise shortly before his runner made for the Skyborn Royal Palace. When I saw the horror that Zorba had become, I knew the world he wanted was no world of mine. You jumped ship. Words. Good for you. He was like, thanks, but no, I'm out of here. Keep that crap to yourself. I thought I'd found my place within Louise's private forces after being disgusted by the shameless corruption of the royal army, but his true intentions were worse than I could imagine. It was the general who pulled me back in. He said my experience leading a force of mixed tribes would be valuable. I'd only taken the job in hopes of atoning, so it's a strange twist to serve with pride in the state army I once so detested. Still, I wonder why he bothered with us.
May God keep you, child.
Amazing.
Hey.
Hi there.
Oh, well, if it ain't the big man himself. Good timing, mate. I just got back into town myself. Long time no see.
Oh, right.
Ain't it been? I've been out traveling since I took the reins on the Seekers Recon team. Hard to believe it's been half a year. And crazy doesn't begin to describe what's beyond the sea. The sights, the magic, everything is so fantastic. I'm already itching to get back out there. Well, I'm not especially keen on dodging the bloody cannonballs when my ship gets too close. Lots of tension out there. But what country isn't a little tense? Everything from the customs to the way they think is so different. My head spins. Makes all the tribal bickering seem right dull, if I can speak my mind. But this country's charging for the better. I'm glad I turned over the throne to you. Appreciate it.
Hold on.
Oh, come on. I'm just roasting ya. After we knocked heads, I knew I could trust ya with making the lives of us Parapists better than they was. All my cohort have found jobs, and some of them have even picked up new skills from being out at sea so long.
See you soon, I hope.
But don't you worry, your kingly head. I'll have it all whipped up in a report for you. Do something proper kingish with it, yeah? Uh-huh.
Say there.
Hey,
Speaking about the city again, are we? Which is to say, Hulkenberg is on the hunt. The classic game of cat and mouse, though who is which? I dare not say. It's been a year since you ascended the throne, but it's like you've hardly changed. I could say the same for you. That is Lord or General Stroll, Your Majesty. I'll never get used to the titles. I really should take a page from Juna's book. She has a gift for delegating, like she was born to do so. Not that I can talk. I actually came out for a bit of a breather myself.
so
You know, I see now that even those at the top have their struggles a little too clearly. A general's duties feel overwhelming at times. But there are lives hanging in the balance. I recognize the weight of every decision I make, and I do find satisfaction in protecting those lives.
hey,
Remember our first meeting back at the recruitment center? I, a fallen noble with nothing to my name, and you, a struggling Elda traveler. Back then, my only goal was getting ahead. My people were little more than an afterthought. If I hadn't met you, I'd have never realized the truth about my fortune, my father's intentions, and I certainly couldn't have saved the Halians.
Thank you.
Halians? Whatever. I owe seeing the joy in their faces to you. I think I've said it before, but again, thank you. Give yourself some credit.
no.
I would still owe any credit I could take to you for showing me the way. They live stable, peaceful lives thanks to you. You have a whole country on your shoulders right now. The road ahead will be full of challenges we can't possibly foresee. But show me the way, and I'll blaze the trail. Now and always, it's my role as a warrior to be the
That's
vanguard.
why.
Our titles may have changed, but I'd like to think our friendship is steadfast as ever. Don't hesitate to rely on me now and always. Okay,
Right,
where
didn't it?
is
Say-
Batlin? I would like to speak to Batlin, if possible.
I love it.
Oh, hey. Random. Lady Gruiday. It's been quite some time, hasn't it? You've matured a great deal in the short year since I last saw you. Rumors of your rule have reached even the sanctum. Some are kinder than others. Taking the reins of a runaway country must have its share of difficulties. Your face tells me as such. The frail child who could do little more than lie on the brink of death has come so far. Goodness, tears come so easily with old age. I am very shocked that you're here.
Right.
Same here. It's a strange feeling to see you in Grand Trad, Lady Gruaday. I received a rather forceful invitation here, you see, from one of your friends, a girl named Juna. Goodness knows how many times she's already come to visit the sanctum, seeking instruction on magic. Some of the villagers are rather smitten with her. She declared that if I wouldn't feel welcome coming to Grand Trad, she would have a highway built directly between the capital and the sanctum. Oh, Juna. She probably would, too. So there you have it. Now then, Frey, or rather, King Frey, the 1,000-year seclusion of the Elda tribe may soon come to an end under your guidance. And yet, the journey ahead of you will be hard. The dreams you hope to achieve will feel just out of reach. So, do stop by and show your face around the forest sometime. Your mother cannot do so herself, but I can whip up some of her favorite dishes in her spirit. Alright, definitely not on my list of people I thought I'd run into.
All right, then.
Alright, I've definitely missed some people, I'm sure. I want to find Batlin.
You there.
Hiya.
Okay, you're another one of Louise's men. You're the jerk who, well, it's been a while anyway. Jerk was it? I apologize for my impertinence, Your Grace. It's Your Majesty, okay? I'm pretty sure Grace is for dukes, Highness is for princes, and Majesty is for kings, right? That's how that works, I think. Probably. I don't know. I was once known as Sergeant Xanth, though I suppose that title carries little weight nowadays. After losing to you, my own men turned on me, threw me into the Oceania Sea. Wow, you are not popular. Awful as all of that was, looking back, those events saved my life. I've heard that all those who went with Louise to the royal palace in the sky never, returned. Yeah, they all turned into humans and then I killed them all, so you know, it is what it is. A world where power is everything. I suppose that would be horrible, after all. Never thought you would ever inspire me to realize anything. Yet here we are. Now I'm spending my days doing charity work as a member of the brigade under Chief Magnus. But, I'll never give up on making my way up in the world on my own merits. Matter of fact, I was invited to participate in the Colosseum's games in Brylehaven. While working with the brigade, I helped a nobleman put in a recommendation for me. It's a brave new world, isn't it? Give me a year and I'll make sure people know the name Xanth as a fighter that electrifies the audience. Okay.
Hiya.
You do that. I'm still missing,
Stupendous.
obviously, Batlin, and a couple of, other candidates. We're missing the Ujif girl. And the... Oh, yeah, this guy.
Well, well.
Oh, the really, like, fancy dude, too, who thought he was beautiful. We're missing that guy. Oh, Your Majesty, running around Sunshade Row at this time of year? You must have some very particular, tastes. Perhaps you've heard, there's unrest across the land as the oppressed are rising up in revolt against their oppressors. Or perhaps that news hasn't reached your walled garden here in Grand Trad. History books may not be kind to this era. You mean me, right? Goodness, you truly are dense. Don't you realize how your dangerous ideology has become the spark of new threats? The dim-witted of the world only fan the flames with their anxiety. Be it people or monsters, to be dissatisfied is in our nature. I don't like you.
You're kidding.
Been a while, no. You must remember me. I'm Sergeant Gleckham the Great. Drunk? Well, you see, that's the thing. End of the year is a perfect time for a flagon, eh? Then again, every day is a perfect time for a flagon. Fair enough. But you know, I've been trying to cut back, actually. When we lost Fidelio, God rest his soul, drink was the only thing that kept me from going mad.
I guess.
I too miss Fidelio, sir. I'll drink to that one. Certainly couldn't follow Louise after that, so leaving the Caradrius was sound, but it's still hard for a parapist to find decent work. You're a parapist under all of that? Drinking my life away seemed the way to go. I assumed all of us from Louise's side who survived would have been sent straight to the gallows, but letting us join the brigade? Well, real generous of you. Not sure I would have fit in anywhere else, speaking plain. Plus, with old Basilio in charge, we're feeling right at home. Now I'm back to drinking for the fun of it, and I owe it all to you, Your Majesty. You're all right. You're welcome, I think.
Back to the old kingdom.
I don't know where Batlin is. Weird.
Thanks.
And there are at least 3 candidates that I did not see as well. The guy obsessed with beauty. I don't remember what his platform was, but he was a Clamar. And the UG for sure.
Yeah?
Hey? You moron. Can't you see I'm busy? Oh, it's you, Your Majesty. Remember me, do ya? Yes. Well, well. It seems your reputation of remembering even the faces of those in lower ranks is true. Indeed. I am Kaiba. I'm going with Kaiba because I can. Former maintenance chief of Louise's Gauntlet Runner. Seba? Kaiba. I was just examining Your Majesty's Gauntlet Runner as part of my research duties. I recall how astonished I was to see her take to the sky for the first time. I wanted to get back to my engineer roots, but then Louise started showing his true colors and the Caradrius went down. I gotta say, Your Majesty, you're too soft. We used to be enemies, but you recommended us for the brigade and gave us work anyway. Pretty genius making old Basilio the captain, too. Louise's old crew will fall in line like wooden soldiers, though I'm not sure that kind of leniency forges nations. So, off with ya, huh? Can't imagine you can afford to waste time on relics like me. Be well, Your Majesty. I am in search of some specific people. And if I can't find them, oh, this dude.
Yes, hello.
I forgot about you. To think that you, of all people, would end up becoming the king. I never expected it, but I will tell you one thing. Wax poetic about your ideals all you want, but when it comes to protecting the country, only power will suffice. The people don't all approve of a dreamer king. Who are you? No, I won't let you down.
Is that so?
Easier said than done. How much has the country truly changed in the past year? Have your policies truly fared any better than Louise's would have? I mean, okay, you wouldn't be alive if Louise had taken over, so I fail to understand your point. If all you did was talk, you're no better than the last king. All ideals, no power, just the same. Did I not, like, beat you up? The man is an idiot.
Dear me! Ain't this a pickle? Ain't this a
Okay, I'm thinking that just might be everyone. It's of course possible I've missed people. Ballad.
Oh.
Well, hello there, Your Majesty, as laid back as ever I see. I myself have been crying like a baby, for I find my position as Chairman of Parliament quite an unfamiliar one. Still, I've considered these open-to-all parliamentary meetings. Compiling all those opinions is indeed hard work, but we're well worth doing.
This fellow.
It won't be easy for those who were at the church's beck and call to change, but I think they've been starting to see what they turned a blind eye to, at least a bit, no? A person who speaks the real truth to the public without yielding to authority. That's what my father and I wished for, a true and proper town crier. This country has turned over a new leaf, but there are still many problems to work out. It seems the rural regions are still suffering from human
I'm
havoc.
counting on you.
All I'm saying is, we're a long way from utopia, but still, the first step is as important as the last, and we're taking big ones. Oh, I didn't see a Denny here.
Hey.
Almost missed a Denny? It would have been awful. Hello there, Your Majesty. It's great to see that you're doing as well as ever. I just left a meeting with the provincial lords. I also preach the Mustari teachings in various areas when the opportunity arises. Many still push back against such teachings, but that's perfectly fine. A country is well served by different perspectives. Many of the villagers have come around to this too, you know? I think that's because you all face such danger on our behalf. Still, it won't be easy to change the entirety of Uchronia. Its history is embedded deep in its roots. The country is larger, and some people will need all the power you have. The true test of your values has only just begun. How did I miss a Denny standing right there? Dang. Did I kill the guy who was obsessed with beauty? And I truly don't know where the Ujif girl is. I don't know. Oh well. Can I go down here? Is someone here? No. All right, well, I think that is it. I think it is time to just go. Oh, here's you.
Hello.
You're one of the candidates I was looking for. Your Majesty, it's an honor to meet you at this most auspicious time of year. I know I'm quite devoted to Louise. At one point, his power was both overwhelming and alluring. Don't worry about it. As generous as you are kind. It's hardly an atonement, but I'll at least try to be straight with you from now on. Not to bring down the mood, but I wanted to mention, I sense something familiar among your supporters. I recognize it, because I was the same way. In their eyes, you're a hero who conquered the monstrous Louise. They entrusted you with authority because of your power and their desire to be at peace. Let us assume that the people have expectations not of your ideology, but solely of your power. King or not, failing to see the difference may invite consequences. Please, take it from someone who erred in his ways. The people of this country have not recovered from the unrest, and when they do... Alright, so it's just the beauty guy and the Ujif girl, I think, that we're missing.
Hiya.
And honestly, we might have killed the beauty guy. He might be, like, dead. I truly do not remember. Or at the very least, in jail.
Become a proper kingdom now.
Oh. Russell, you're here. Oh, Gallica, and your highness as well. Ah, but that's no longer your title, is it? Excuse my impertinence, your majesty. Still, knowing that the New Year's celebrations were just around the corner, I couldn't resist returning to the capital to see how the kingdom was faring. And how do you find it? I see smiles everywhere I go. The city feels alive again, and it seems as though its citizens are free to choose their own paths. I must say, I never imagined that I'd return here without all the cloak and shadow. I owe a great deal to the work of Lady Juna. To think I'd be able to see Grand Trad with His Highness sitting openly upon the throne. Alsace, are you seeing this as well?
Yep.
We've got a long way to go, but I know Grius will be watching. I should tell you, a sizable number of the villagers in the Sanctum have gained an interest in the outside world. I've been acting as sort of their bridge. It seems this doddering old fool has found a new role, to find the middle ground for both those who wish to preserve tradition and those who seek innovation.
Yep.
I couldn't think of a better man for the job, Russell. I'm sure you'll be a great help to the village. I fought so long to save this country, but seeing all these smiling faces now, I think perhaps I'm the one being saved. This is a country that protects its people, and the people shape the country in turn. Surely that's the world His late Majesty wished to see. Not to simply chase the ideal of a utopia, but to shape it with our own hands. We have a long way to go, but I trust you'll continue to make this country stronger, Your Majesty. Okay.
I love it.
We have spoken
Aha.
to so many people. I think we're just gonna have to forgo looking for Beauty Guy
Right,
and
Say,
Eugene Girl.
Ah, wonderful.
So,
I think we've heard all we can from people. Should we head to where Maria is? Yes.
that reminds me.
Being here sure brings back memories. You remember how we came here looking for Maria before the tournament for the throne? She was crying back then, though. She's happy now.
But
You could say that again. This country's turned around since then, no doubt about it. I'm sure there will always be differences of opinion, but your ideals are really coming to fruition now. I can feel it. That reminds me, what's up with the book you're carrying around now? Is that the one you've been working on yourself? I'm excited to see what kind of fantasy you can conjure up. But maybe that's not even the word for it. After all, if you're the one putting it to ink, that means you're going to make it a reality someday. Now then, Your Majesty, shall we get going?